Enormous.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Ah, Daily Swole. I like. Testing, fuck nuggets, testing, testicles, ball sack. All kinds of ball sacks, girl sacks. Whoa. Welcome everyone to episode 1219 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches? We got an express episode today. We're going to bang this one out because daddy's got to go get his pump on. But before we do, let's say what's up to all you motherfuckers out there. How you doing? Excited to be here. Cool. Great. What's going on? Let's see some new stuff that's going on here. I mentioned in the pre-roll, make sure you go and follow the Daily Swole wherever you follow. Check me out on YouTube. And also we got the Daily Swole on Instagram. And I saw a couple people mentioning the podcast, we got Nicholas. I was just watching Papa Swole TikTok and I'm still laughing. Yeah. That's where daddy's going. I'm doing a lot of shit over there. If you don't know what that is, your kids probably do, but a lot of people are on it. It's not a kids app. It's just a fucking awesome app. And while people wait for Facebook and Instagram to rip it off, I don't know if people are really enamored with those platforms anymore. Instagram's really kind of boring at this point. People are getting bored quicker with movies and with entertainment and stuff. And I think people are just kind of tired of the way those things are run. But if you want something new, you want something fresh, go check it out at Papa Swolio over on the TT over on TikTok. It's cool. It's funny. I've been posting a lot of content. If you follow me on Instagram stories and you follow YouTube stories and shit like that, you'll see a lot of that content. But it's fun. I have a good time over there. What's up? Oh my God. All right. So we have some cool stuff to talk about today. The first thing that I do want to talk about, because I've been getting a lot of people sending me this, and I think the context is a little bit, I think people are getting their egos involved too much with this type of content when it comes to the Bill Maher situation. I don't know if you follow Bill Maher. I certainly don't, but a lot of you know who he is, and he's a big celebrity, and he has a talk show and all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of like, okay, you don't have to worry. It's not about politics. You don't have to agree with him from a political standpoint. I don't even know all his views on politics, but whether you like him as a comedian, whether you don't like him, it's not really here nor there. That's not what this is about. It's about a segment. I believe his show is on Friday nights, but his segment on obesity. He did a whole rant, so to speak, on obesity. And he pretty much says that, and I'll bring it up here, it says that Bill Maher weighs in on U.S. obesity. Fat shaming needs to make a comeback. And this is pretty much the kind of content that I've been making for a long time. Alan, Every Damn Day Fitness, has been making for a while. John from Obese to Beast, the Swolevengers, Michelle. So we've all been making content like this for a while. So a lot of people are like, hey, they're stealing your shit. Anyone that's a celebrity, anyone that is a big name, anyone that is talking about this shit more, it's fine. I think in today's day and age, with social media and with all the information out there, it's really hard not to step on someone's toes, someone took my content, someone said what I was saying and they stole my line, and it doesn't matter. As long if you're sending out a proper message, it's good that more people are talking about it. So I'm glad that he did a whole segment in his show, and a lot of people are probably going to get rubbed the wrong way, but it's fine. It's not like I'm trying to be the only person that's talking about this. I think the more people that are talking, that's the problem with the fat acceptance and this whole pussification of this country and the world, as so it seems, is the fact that not enough people are talking about it. Obesity is preventable. It is a big time fucking disease. It's killing people left and right. And this is something that has to change. And the thing is, you don't have to wait for the government. You don't have to blame it on food. You just have to start moving your fucking fat ass and stop eating so much. And that's pretty much what he said. So I'll bring this up here on the screen right now. And you can see this is from Deadline. Doesn't really matter. This is just reporting on what he said on his show. And we'll read through this for a second. And he says, Bill Maher served up a supersized portion of steamed snark Ugh, I hate the way articles are written. On Friday night, as he weighed in on the American obesity crisis by equating overeating to racism and littering as a behavior that should be admonished in public ways. Yeah, we don't endorse alcoholism. We don't endorse drug addicts. We shouldn't endorse obesity, but we are. Quote, in August, 53 Americans died from mass shootings. The host of Real Time with Bill Maher told his live studio audience in Los Angeles. Terrible, right? Do you know how many died from obesity? 40,000. In August, 40,000 people died in August from obesity. How fucking crazy is that? We're also worried about mass shootings. We're also worried about gun violence when it's obesity that's killing 1,000 times more people. So people are just completely fucked in the head. Completely fucked in the head. 40,000. Fat shaming doesn't need to end. It needs to make a comeback. Some amount of shame is good. We shamed people out of smoking and into wearing seatbelts. We shamed them out of littering and most of them out of racism. Shame is the first step in reform, and I don't disagree. Maher used his show closing commentary to connect the dots between obesity and climate change, the healthcare crisis, and in a roundabout way, a national surrender of our space age vitality. On that last point, Maher shared a recent anecdote about watching vintage footage of the Apollo 11 mission and getting a jolting insight when the camera panned over a gathered crowd and showed how unfat the American public of 1969 looked. We look like a completely different race of people, Maher said. Now look at us. We wear our ancestors. Oh, that fucking major typo. They just missed the sentence. Our clothes that we wear, our ancestors could have used as a sail. Maher had plenty more to say on the topic. He sneered at Democratic doublespeak, blah, 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 blah. We'll skip that whole political section. He said that you're the NRA of mayonnaise. We've gone to this weird place where fat is good. It's pointing out that fat is unhealthy. That's what's bad. Fat shame, we fit shame, really. On body acceptance movement, quote, when did it become taboo in this country to talk about getting healthy? Weight Watchers had to literally take the words weight and watchers out of their name. It's now WW. And of course, Alan, myself, everyone's been making content on this for a long time. So, there are a lot of people that are sending DMs saying that, oh, look at him. He's jacking your shit. Who knows? Who knows who's writing these things for Bill? He's thinking of some of this stuff himself, but I'm sure he has a lot of writers that are pulling up content. They're pulling up a lot of these things from YouTube and trending topics, but it's true. It's the whole point is that it's true. So it doesn't really necessarily mean who is right and who is wrong or who said it. That's ego. So it doesn't matter who says it. It just matters that the truth will always win. You could always look up on Google and YouTube, like who said it first. And it's not about who said it first. We all know that obesity is a huge problem. The fact of the matter is we need to change the narrative so we're not glorifying obesity. Like the Tess Holiday shit. We're not putting it on the cover of fucking magazines. We're not pretending like it's something to be accepted. We should still be going after it. And that doesn't mean to be rude, but I've said this too. It doesn't shame. Fine. Shame is like, it's relative. You can't fit shame me because I'm healthy. Like, what are you going to fucking do? You're going to fit shame me? I said this before. You cannot shame me for being fit. Shame is something that I will feel. You can try. It doesn't fucking shame me though. I don't feel shame. It's only shameful if you are making me feel shame. And that's on me. It's not on you. You can say whatever you want about me. You could talk about my beard, my hair. You could talk about my body. It's only shaming if I internalize it as shaming. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's only shame if you internalize it. So it's like, people will say whatever the fuck they want to get elected. People will say whatever they can to get views. And I do a lot of stuff. God, fucking all my content's to get views. I want people to see my content. I want people to watch this. I want people to click on this and be like, oh, what did Bill Maher say? I want to say, oh shit, vegan barbecue, vegan chicken. Let me click on it and see what Papa Swole says. It's my opinion. What's funny is I get some comments as if this fucking podcast is not my opinion. I'm not here to be unbiased, to have like, oh, let's bring out some studies. These are my opinions. These are my opinions. This is my take on a lot of stuff. And I don't know everything, but I definitely have my opinions. But this kind of stuff is objective. This is what someone else is saying. This is what's going on in the country. But I don't think we can argue that obesity is killing people. That's silly. If you want to argue veganism and carnivore, and okay, that's up for discussion. But it's like, do what the fuck you want. The problem is when obesity affects everyone. It really does. And not one person to the next. Okay, this one person that's obese, that affects everyone. But the addition, what were we talking about? The total population of obesity affects this country. It's bankrupting our country with healthcare. And it's preventable. That's the shitty part. That's the shitty fucking part, is that it's preventable. That's the main part that really upsets me, is that it's preventable. It's not like something like, hey, we don't know what's causing this. We know exactly what's causing it. It's big food, it's big pharma, it's lack of exercise, it's the education system, it's everything. Everything is completely fucked. Everything is fucked. The food is fucked. And I make videos. I got another one coming tomorrow about kids' lunches and kitchen. It's so fucking bad what parents are feeding their kids. It starts young. It starts with what you're feeding your children. It starts with what you're feeding your kids. So if you think I'm being harsh on these parents, like, well, you try getting kids to eat. You fucking put food down. If they don't eat it, you take it away. And you put it down again. If they don't eat it, you take it away. And so they don't die. They'll fucking eat it. They don't like the texture. Well, suck a dick instead. All right? Just fucking eat it. Fucking eat it. There's plenty of good foods. If they don't like the texture of one food that you cook, then cook them something else. Go buy something else. But there's plenty and plenty and plenty and plenty of health foods. So get the fuck out of here. I don't buy that shit. There's a lot of good food that kids like that isn't garbage trash. Well, they try to make those movements they want disability. They want like handicap benefits. I want to park in a handicap spot. Well, you want that, but then you want to be accepted as a normal person. I'm not glorifying someone that can't walk. I'm not glorifying anyone that has to be in a scooter. I'm not glorifying anyone that looks like a fucking beached whale. It's not something to glorify. It's something to address, and it's something to help fix. It's not something to shame. Again, shame. Shame is what you feel. If you're feeling shame, you are processing the information improperly. You are looking at it as a victim, from a victim lens. That's what's going on. If you're feeling shame, don't feel shame. It's a fact. If you're obese, okay, what are you doing about it? That doesn't mean that you're ever going to have a six pack. It doesn't mean you're ever going to have a six pack. Doesn't mean you're going to be on the cover of a magazine. Doesn't mean you're ever going to be a fitness model. Not everyone is born to do that. That's a very specific genetic predisposition. That's an effort predisposition. That's a lot of fucking hard work to maintain a body that looks like. That's why a lot of people aren't chiseled and ripped. It's a whole, like, that's your focus of your life and your effort. That's what you're doing as a priority. You don't just magically have an amazing body. You work for it. So if you're not doing that as a priority, what do you expect? You're not just going to go and do 30 minutes 3 times a week and get an amazing physique. You could be healthier, but it depends on what your goals are and how realistic you are about what you can obtain. Well, then some kids literally starve themselves, and we're thinning out the gene pool and survival of the fittest. An animal or a creature that doesn't eat to save their own life probably isn't. That's probably a mistake. That's probably a genetic mistake. I know that's harsh, and I don't mean fucking kill your children, but think about that. A child, an animal that doesn't eat because it doesn't like, that doesn't like, some kids will literally starve rather than eat bad food or rather than eat good food. I thought you were saying good food. I read that wrong. Well, if you mean rather than eat good food, a lot of kids would probably go, I'm not eating that. Well, then you don't fucking eat. Any child that doesn't eat and spites their existence, that's like a genetic mistake. That's a problem if a kid doesn't eat food. If you say rather than eat bad food, sure, then you don't want them to eat bad food. I agree. I think shame, that's a good, that I didn't say that in that as many words. Shame is an interpretation. Sure is. It's subjective. It's subjective. I mean, it's when you talk to people that are really honest about their obesity. How many of you watching are obese? There's a huge audience that watches this podcast that's obese. We go hard. Go hard on it. Go fucking hard on it. I'm not gentle about obesity, but I get tons and tons of positive feedback because I'm not lying to people. I'm trying to inspire you. I'm trying to inspire you and get you off your fucking ass. If you don't like the delivery, there are plenty of people that want to hold your hand and help you, and tell you that you're beautiful and tell you that you're lovely and everything's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay when you have diabetes. It's not going to be okay when you have heart disease. It's not going to be okay when you can't get off the fucking couch out of a chair, when you can't, scratch your own ass or whatever the fuck it is. It's not going to be okay then. You're going to be complaining then. You're not going to like it then. So do something about it now. What the fuck are you waiting for? I don't know what people are waiting for. What are you waiting for? What do you think is going to happen? You think things are going to happen and change on their own? Not going to happen. Mandy Justine, that's what people don't get. People complain their kids are picky eaters. Only if you let them be. Mine picked out ribeye today. Ooh, all right. Speaking of ribeye and meat, I did get some content comments and some emails about people that are vegans that watch the podcast. And I think I want to clarify something. I'm not here to push people to be vegans. I'm not here to tell people that they shouldn't be vegans, because we'll talk about the other topic for today in just a second. But I totally understand what veganism is about. Someone was like saying, hey, I don't think you truly understand because I'm watching your content and I'm appalled by what it seems like it's always negative about veganism and vegetarianism. I don't care if you do it. I'm definitely not going to sit here and promote it like it's a good option for most people. If you want to do that, that's like I've said before, if you find yourself in a vegan lifestyle, it better be through an elimination diet, and that's what you're doing for health. People always want to have an ego and be like, I'm helping the environment. Not really. What is a vegan doing to help the environment? It takes tons and tons of land and pesticides to farm. You're killing plenty of animals. You're not really changing anything. You're just changing where the damage and where the destruction and where humankind. If we want to help the environment, here's how you help the environment. You stop having sex. You stop fucking and having babies. That's how we help the environment. We stop polluting it with human beings. It's not how we farm and how we eat food. The problem is that human beings, we are consumers. We consume, we devour. We're eating the earth. We're eating the earth dry. So that's the real issue. Stop having children. Stop populating. Things would be a lot better if there weren't 7.5 billion people. If there were 2 or 3, there's a lot less damage going on. There's less people driving cars. There's less airplane flights. There's less everything. There's less delivery of food because there's less people to deliver it to. That's literally the fucking shit. Stop having people. I'm a vegan, just banging out kids. Okay. It's not helping anything. Really. Really, really. So if you're going to do that, do it for health. Do it for health. Okay, so let's talk about this next thing. And again, if you want to eat this kind of stuff, that's fine. But I'm just updating you on, this is like the state of humanity. So we're talking about now the KFC thing. So if you're going to be a company and you're promoting vegan products or animal products, the problem is not necessarily whether you want to eat meat or not. It's like when you have fast food companies that are getting on this social train, that are creating all these fake burgers and fake meats and stuff like that. It's the volume, all the crops, all the carbon deposits from the shipping and everything, all the pollution, all the death. Like, you're still mass producing food. Again, that's the problem. It's the mass production of all these foods. You can only mass produce naturally to a point until you actually have to start manipulating and GMO and spraying and all these different things in order to feed a growing population that won't stop fucking. Won't stop fucking. Won't stop fucking. We're too many people. Too many people. We can all, and the fact of the matter is, everyone's never going to become vegan. It's not going to change. Never. Everyone. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why we're here today via evolution. If you want to go against that and not eat any animal products, that's totally fine. And I think we miss the mark with this discussion, whether or not it's healthy or whether or not it's possible. There's a lot of things that are possible. People are surviving just fine on carnivore. People are doing vegan. People are doing omnivore. People are paleo, keto. There's a lot of different options. Okay. So if you want to do that, it's totally cool. It's totally cool. It's totally fine. But I think everyone has to start getting off each other's fucking back. That's my opinion, but doesn't mean I have to get off people's back. I can still put nuts on chin. I can still do that. You can't. I can. I'm just fucking around. Let's read this. I thought it was a funny article. KFC is going beyond meat, quote, to serve vegan chicken. Gross. Gross. Nasty. You shouldn't be eating KFC, real or fake chicken. Real or fake. Don't eat it. Don't eat KFC, period. Like, if you're going to do a vegan diet, then fine, do it, but eat real food, not fake fucking chicken. That's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. If you're a vegan, this is what pisses me off. Again, it's not about whether or not you want to be a vegan. If you are a vegan and you're eating plants that look like a fucking chicken, you are fucked in the head. You are tricking yourself. You're in denial that you want to eat chicken. I want to eat chicken, but I don't want to eat chicken. So let me eat this other shit that looks like chicken. Why don't you eat some beans and rice? Why don't you eat some beans and fucking rice and stop fucking pretending the fucking ego on people. It's ridiculous. Allow people, if you want to eat chicken, then eat chicken. If you want to eat plants, then eat fucking plants. Stop eating these fake fucking burger plants. If you're eating a burger that's not really a burger, you're an asshole. You're an asshole. I just love burgers, but I don't want to hurt animals. Then don't eat a burger. That's what a burger is. I think it's ridiculous. It's like a vegan hot dog. You're making your plants look like meat. That's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. KFC has announced it's going beyond fried chicken with the introduction of a vegan imitation chicken to its menu in one Atlanta area restaurant on Tuesday. The fast food giant will trial the plant-based fried, quote, chicken in its Smyrna, Georgia restaurant in partnership with Beyond Meat, a brand that produces, quote, meat that's made from plants, which is not meat, okay? It's just plants that look like meat, which is fucking weird. Kevin Hochman, the president of KFC's U.S. business, said in a news release that customers would find it difficult to tell it was plant-based because if you fry anything, it tastes like fucking fried food. All right, you fry leather. You can fry shoelaces and it'll taste like steak. If it tastes like fried. Fried. Yeah, I agree. How come we don't make grass-fed beef taste like pears or taste like peas? It's because we don't want to ruin meat. Quote, I think we've all heard that it tastes like chicken. Well, our customers are going to be amazed and say it tastes like Kentucky Fried Chicken because you're frying it. You're frying it in the same fucking oils. Of course it's going to taste like KFC. No one can... You're not even putting real fucking chicken in there anyway. Or quality chicken. And you're frying the fuck out of it. Of course it tastes like KFC. You're just frying it. Vegetable oil is going to taste like fucking vegetable oil. You're still covering it in these polyunsaturated garbage fucking vegetable oils. While some consumers were disappointed the option would be available only in Atlanta, CNN reported several other fast food chains had tested plant-based meat alternatives before rolling them out nationwide. Burger King offered plant-based Impossible Whoppers at one store before making them available across the country. Dunkin' trialed Beyond Meat sausage and egg sandwiches. This is just a grab to try to make more money. If anyone thinks that this is some way that these companies are trying to save the environment, they're not. They're trying to make your money. They're trying to take your money, make your money. You're making your money. They're trying to take your money. So before you think like, wow, this is such a great, they're capitalizing on what people they're seeing. That's why magazines are showing a lot of body positive and plus size models, because those movements are taking off online and stuff. There's a reason why chains are doing this, because it's getting social media attention and people are attracted by this. So they're trying to make money. It's a fad. It is a fad. Now, I'm not saying that veganism doesn't help people. I'm not saying that eating a plant spares some animals while killing others, because it does kill rodents and little animals. And, you know, when it tills up the farm, you're just destroying tons and tons of creatures and you're tearing up land and wildlife space and shit like that. So it's not this completely altruistic method of eating. You're still killing a lot of animals and you're still displacing tons and tons of wildlife for farmland, because most of this shit's just based off fucking soy and peas and just all these different plant source proteins that need millions and millions of acres to grow. Now, everyone's going to have their opinion, and everyone can find any type of research or article to suit their narrative. So I can say this, you can go and find X, Y, and Z, but this, but that. We've evolved here by eating meat. I don't think it's a bad thing. Do I think human beings can survive on a vegan diet? Of course. Survival, thriving, performance, aesthetics. genetics. There are a lot of different factors that might determine whether or not you can be successful on a vegan or a carnivore or an omnivorous diet. But the things that bother me with these types of products is the fact that why do you have to make it look like meat? Why do you have to make it look like meat? Why? Why do you have to make it look like meat? Why can't you just have plant protein sources? Why can't you have your beans and rice and tofu and senpai or tempeh or whatever the fuck it is, right? You can have all that. Why can't you do that? Get your complete proteins by mixing all the plant sources, take your supplements, whatever it is that you're going to do. Why can't you do that and be happy with it? Why do you have to make it look like an animal product? Why do you have to make it look like chicken? Why does it have to be a hot dog? Why does it have to be vegan cheese? Could it be that at such a fucking fundamental level, you are a human being that's designed to eat meat, but you're in denial of that because you watch too many Disney movies and you think that you're changing the environment, you're doing so much work, but you still don't want to give it up because you are just addicted to the foods that you have evolutionarily developed to crave. I just think it's fucked up. Eat your plants. It's totally fine to be plant-based. If that works for you, totally cool. But don't make it look like meat. Someone else said that, and there's a lot of comments I throw around like that. There's no one that makes meat to taste like vegetables. No one makes a ribeye steak to taste like a carrot or to look like a carrot. Wow, this is a carrot, but it's actually a steak. Ugh, the fuck? I don't want to eat a carrot steak. I want to eat a steak. Why do you want your plants to look like a burger? You say, oh, that's a dead animal. Then why do you want your plants to look like a dead animal? It's completely fucked up. It's fucked up. How twisted is that? Am I the only one that thinks that's twisted? Am I the only one that thinks that's really psychologically twisted? Is it? I think it's fucking weird. I think it's really fucking weird. Covert Kermit. The reason they can't tell the difference is because they didn't know a beef Whopper was 40% soy to start with. Preach. Those burgers are not, you think it's grass-fed beef, you think it's all natural. Those things are pre-frozen and fucking packed in boxes and shipped around the world. Those things are not all meat. Who knows what the fuck they're mixing in it? A lot of it's soy, a lot of it's GMO corn and shit like that. So we're confusing possible with optimal. We are. We're confusing possible with optimal. Is it possible for humans to go to the moon? Yeah. Is it realistic for everyone to go? No. Is it possible for everyone to paint a picture? Sure. Is it realistic to think that everyone's a good artist? No. I mean, you can say that about anything. Just because it's possible for some people doesn't mean it's optimal for all people. So I mean, why? The problem is the fast food chains. You're still taking these plant proteins and frying them. People are going to get so fucking sick off that shit. So fucking sick. There's nothing about that vegan chicken, the fried chicken. There's nothing. Not one fucking thing, you assholes. There's not one fucking thing that's good about that. Not one fucking thing. What's good about that? I don't care if it didn't kill a fucking cow. It killed something, and it's going to kill you. It's still fried garbage. You're just frying fucking plants in the same goddamn shit. There's not one thing that's good about any of those products. Not one fucking thing. It's annoying. It's annoying when people act like this. Oh, this is the change. We're still mass producing garbage fucking food. Eat your own food. Eat crops. Eat plants. If you want to eat plants, then fucking eat them. Don't make them, mold them into chicken looking things and then fry the fuck out of it in vegetable oil. It's not good. That's why we're obese, because of that shit. God, there's not one thing that's good about it. And Catherine, if you're allergic to fish, that's a whole different thing. If you're allergic to beef, grass-fed beef, just like some of the amino acids, but one of the fucking nutrients or whatever in beef, and you have an allergy, that is a different story. So maybe you're a pescatarian, or maybe you only eat meat, or maybe you don't eat red meat. Everyone is different. There's some people that are violently allergic to peanut butter. They're not going to be eating peanut butter. But there's not one good thing about that vegan sandwich. That chicken, that's not even a vegan sandwich. That was what? They're just frying fake chicken. Not one good thing. Not a fucking one. Not one. Not a single fucking one. Not a single fucking thing is good about that. Oh, is that true? That sounds gross. Sounds right, but I don't know the details about the Beyond Burger. I think the fact, does anyone else know if this is true? I think the fact that they inject the Beyond Burgers with beet juice so it, quote, bleeds when grilled shows that it's a bunch of bullshit. That's pretty disgusting. You're faking the way blood looks. That's disgusting. That's really gross. There's a hardcore denial. There's a hardcore denial from with people that eat plant-based products that look like animal products. That's really fucking weird. Really weird. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, not everyone can go and hunt their own food. I mean, I guess everyone could, has the potential, but if you're in a metropolitan area, you're pretty fucked. But if you're eating fast food, you shouldn't be eating fast food, period. You shouldn't be going to KFC, period. There's no benefit to going to KFC. Go in and use the restroom. That's it. There's no benefit to eating at KFC. None. Zero. Look at that. Beyond chicken. Beyond fried chicken. Beyond fried chicken. A Kentucky Fried Miracle. Doesn't look like a miracle to me. It looks like fucking fried shit. Kentucky Fried Miracle. Why is this a miracle? It's still finger licking good. You know why it's finger licking good? Because you covered it in fried shit and you're dipping it in whatever fucking sugared processed jizz that is. Sweet and sour sauce. Dipping my fake chicken that's fried into, yeah, that's really helping a lot of people. Wow. Happy to be a fucking vegan. You're going to be a fat fucking vegan, as many are. That's disgusting. Yeah, they could. That's true. That's true. In New York City and metropolitan, they can hunt the rats. There's a ton of rats. There's more rats than people in New York City. People will defend convenience until they're blue in the face. And there's nothing wrong with convenience. I mean, I got a couple packages from Amazon today. It's super convenient. But when convenience flies in the face of just common sense, if you're going to eat food, and again, if you want to be a vegan, then go be a vegan, but eat real food. That's not real food. A Beyond Burger, it's not real food. It's not real. An Impossible Burger, it's not a burger. Don't call it a burger. Don't call it a burger. Like, eat the actual products. You don't want someone to fucking grind them up, smash them, and make it taste like meat. Just fucking eat the real stuff. Oh, but I don't want to cook my chickpeas. Then don't be a vegan. Then get over it and eat a burger. Eat a real one. And again, it's not good to eat the real ones either. These are just mass-produced, sick animals that are packed into these fucking farms. I want to make it clear, I don't think that the factory farming is good. People that aren't vegans, or when you are vegan, you look at everyone else, well, you just want to harm all the animals. I don't want the animals to be in the situation they are now. It's a terrible situation. If we got rid of all fast food, like let's say we snapped our fingers, all those CAFOs, all those concentrated feedlots, they wouldn't exist, or a lot less. It could be a lot different if we didn't have fast food. But because we're pumping, look, we're obese because we're eating too much food. So we have to cut back on how much food we're eating, which means we need to create less food. If we need to create less food, we don't need concentrated cattle operations because we don't need to create as much food because people are eating a lot less. So we're able to rotate farmland more. There's many areas to have cattle graze on grass, and we could change that whole cycle of things. We can be a lot better and a lot healthier. We could feed people properly if we ate less. Think if everyone ate a third of what they currently eat. A third. How many times do we eat and drink shit that is completely useless? If we're not drinking our soda, if we're not drinking our calories, then we don't need to use all that farmland up for fucking corn. We can use it for other things that are actually nutritious for us. So there's a lot of things that need to change, and I think it begins and starts with stop fucking stuffing your face with garbage foods. We cut down on the volume of food. We're not obese anymore. We're exercising. We can make better decisions because we're actually creating less food to begin with. But then that kind of conversation, well, that doesn't make any sense. How are we going to change that? Exactly. That's going to make as much of a fucking difference as this kind of shit. And yeah, there's Sour Patch cereal. There's tons of shit. They keep on making it because how many other different organizations of corn can we create to sell to people? Sour Patch cereal is absolutely real. I saw in the store yesterday. It was right at the end of the aisle. Right when you walk in the cereal aisle, it's right there on the left. Advertised right there, right at the beginning. Vegan meat is like designing a cardio workout around your recliner. You can probably do it, but why? Yeah, Sour Patch cereal. Next time I go to the supermarket, I'll do like a story or something on it. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Fucking gross. Yeah, I mean, shouldn't even be talking about real food. It should all be just food. It shouldn't be real food. There shouldn't be organic versus conventional. It should just be like quality food. But look, we fuck too much. We have too many babies. We have too many people. And we've gotten in this cycle of all these businesses can make so much money off food because if you make it cheap enough, the turnaround, the return is so high. It's just an upsell. The profit margin is ridiculous with products that are made with corn because corn is subsidized by the government. And it's absolutely completely like dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. Veganism or vegetarianism is a suburban thing. I've never met someone in the country, rural areas that are living on plant-based diets. I couldn't answer that. I'm sure some are. Just because of technology, you can get a lot of this information, but it makes more sense because when you're in when you're in rural areas, you usually have farms and you're around a lot of cows and cattle and stuff. And it's normal for you. It's normal to you. You're not adverse. When you're around animals more, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, but when you're around animals, and I grew up, in the city, but I also lived around animals a lot when I was really young. So you have more perspective. But if you're never around animals, what's your idea of an animal? A dog or a cat? Maybe you go to the zoo and you're watching Disney movies and all these videos where animals talk and cartoons. If you live in the country and you see animals all the time, you might be hunting with your family. You're going to see a lot of farms. You're going to be around it more. You're not adverse to the fact that people eat animals. It's going to be normal to you. If you're segregated and separated from it and you're detached from this kind of farming, then you have no idea. And it seems like cruel, like, oh my God, you're murdering something. It's like, go in the woods. Go in the middle of fucking nowhere and try to eat. If you're lost in the woods, you're going to die unless you consume animal products. If you're go in the woods with like a gun or a rifle or a bow, you're going to have to try to kill a deer or an elk or something to survive. You're going to have to try to kill something in the wild. You're not going to live off just gathering a couple fucking nuts and fruit from a tree. It's not going to be it's not as ubiquitous as you think it is. We have a lot of that. We have a lot of that because we have farms. But if you go in the woods, shit's not edible in the fucking woods. It just goes to show how little people actually go out into nature. Go into the woods and go into the woods and see how much food you see. Go into the woods and see how much food you come across. Think about it that way. You might see a bird or a squirrel. That's food. You can eat that. Where you can eat tree bark, leaves. Where's the food? Where are you going to find? That's literally what you're going to find, animals. So what are you going to find? What you gonna find in the woods? Nothing. Next to fucking nothing. And again, is it possible to survive? Is it possible to do it? Sure, because you get your amino acids from mixing different plants and stuff. Sure. Survival is different. It's different. It's possible. It's possible. What do I think about Vegan Gains YouTube channel? I don't watch his videos. What do I think about it? I don't think much about it. I don't watch. Every time I get sent to something, I'm not watching a 2-hour fucking live stream. I'm not watching just rants about stuff. I'm not watching that shit. I don't think anything about it. Everyone's absolutely fine to their own opinion. But you can let it be an opinion. I make videos about other people. I'll make critiques and criticisms and stuff. Fine. That's what I do for views. That's what I do for my business. What I do for attention. That's what I do to spread a message and have fun and have a podcast and do stuff like that. But there's a lot of serious issues out there. And honestly, veganism and carnivore, that's not the main issue here. It really isn't. As much as people want to make it out to be, oh, we're eating too much meat. That's not the problem. The meat's not the problem. It could be part of it. But obviously, if you're making fucking vegan chicken, it's not the problem. That's a problem too. The processed food, the extra calories, you're eating too much. There are plenty of fat vegans. It has nothing to do with it. That's not like changing the world. It's the whole system of government. It's the corporate structure with healthcare, with insurance, with medication, with processed food, with the complete reckless access to sugar and liquid calories. It's a lot of shit. And being a vegan is not going to change a goddamn thing, unfortunately. Hey, if that was going to save everything, it's not going to happen. That's not the problem, especially when you're using all these vegan products to make vegan or plant-based to make shit fucking products. Making an Impossible Burger, cool. What are you still eating with that? Fucking processed bun, white bread, simple carbohydrates. You're still eating shit. It's still fucking shit. It's still trash. Trash. You're still eating too many calories. You're still not exercising enough. You think you're going to make yourself healthier by shifting where you're getting your excess calories from? Fucking stupid shit. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's misdirection. It's like a magic trick. You can't flash this in front of my eyes and be like, oh, don't say anything. The vegans are going to get upset. Fuck the vegans. Fuck all that. Anyone that thinks that this is going to make a difference. Can you be a vegan? Sure. Can you be a carnivore? Sure. We have to start looking at individual health, like the family unit. You have to start taking care of your fucking children and teach them better. Teach them better. It's gotta start with the kids. You gotta teach your kids better. Stop taking them to fast food. You gotta shut that shit down. But then you don't want to. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna grow up to be parents. They're gonna grow up to be parents that believe in this fucking shit. Well, they're putting soy in everything. They put soy in fucking everything. Everything. Well, things can be expensive too. If you're a carnivore, it can be expensive too. If you're doing like grass-fed beef and stuff like that, it can get expensive. One of the ways to cut down on your caloric intake is to be consistent with your diet. If you're eating random shit all the time, you're going to overeat more likely. If you're very consistent and regimented with what you intake and you're getting all your nutrients, you're going to overeat a lot less. That's one of the reasons why I don't fucking overeat, because I am very consistent with what I consume. Look, I'm not saying I have the answer, but this certainly isn't. This is going to be touted as like, wow, this is excellent. We're making all this progress with vegan chicken. This is not affecting anything. This is not helping anything. This is not helping anyone. This is not helping the environment. This is not saving anyone. It's not making anyone healthier. You're still eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's still fried and you're still dipping in sauce. And I'm sure you're having that with a soda. You're having that with whatever else on the side. It's still shit. Anyone that's getting Beyond Fried Chicken, right? Beyond Meat Fried Chicken, they're not going to the gym 6 days a fucking week. I'll tell you that much. They're not exercising. They're not really taking care of their health. If you're eating from fried chicken, from KFC, you're not paying attention to your health. Absolutely not. Anastasia loves bling. The real problem is the global epidemic of the mindfuck. From all this different manic weight loss and eat this and that. People are brainwashed and mentally wiped of basic instinct of eating. I agree with that. Now, I didn't grow up with hunting myself, but I wish I did. And I'd like to get into it. I mean, I think it's better if you can hunt your own food and eat your own food. But not everyone has access to that. I think if you want to be a vegan, that's fine. I think you should be eating plant foods and not eating this shit. I don't think anyone should be eating this fucking stuff. I don't think anyone should be eating Beyond Meat or Impossible Burgers. I don't think anyone should be eating that stuff. Do not think anyone should be eating that. I don't think that's the answer. I don't think that's helping anyone. If you want to do that, fine. But there's plenty of plant foods that you can consume. Don't be eating fake fucking meat. Don't be eating fake meat. Don't pretend like you're being all altruistic and saving everyone by eating plants that look like a fucking animal product. It's weird. It's psychologically, you're fucking yourself up. You're in denial. Eat your plants and do your thing. But it's weird. It's weird. If you don't think it's weird, reverse it. Again, have a carrot or an apple that tastes like a steak. That's fucking weird, right? That'd be weird. So the other way is not weird all of a sudden. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. If an apple tastes like a steak or a steak tastes like an apple or whatever the fuck the opposite of that would be. Weird. Weird. Super fucking weird. That'd be super weird. Let's see. I love all of you. Again, if you're a vegan and you're happy with it, that's totally cool. This is not against veganism. Everyone's going to have their own opinions, but it starts at a much different level. It starts with not consuming processed foods. It starts with exercising more. And we have to get off this kind of like mass production of all this kind of crap. It's not helping anyone. This is a load of shit. Eat real food and you will be the better for it. You totally would be the fucking better for it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1219 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Tomorrow is a Sunday Funday Q&A-ness, so we can continue this conversation, and you can ask any question you want. I will be open to any questions. I'll take as many as I possibly can. Make sure you hit the bell right here on YouTube so you get notified when I go live, and I'll see you tomorrow for 12:20, the Sunday Funday Q&A-ness. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio, out.